And joining me now to discuss the latest from London and Europe is David Buik from BGC Partners. Good day to you, sir.
And you too, Tiki. Greetings to you.
Now, David Meister, who's the Director of Enforcement at the US regulator CFTC, claimed these false submissions at Barclays were the direct result of senior management orders. Should Bob Diamond therefore resign, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think we need to know an awful lot more, Tiki. The situation with Barclays is that they are the first. They have stepped up to the plate and admitted their liabilities, been fined. Bob Diamond, I'm very comfortable, knew absolutely nothing about this on a day-to-day basis. They have been firing people for some time. But believe me, there are going to be a slew of these banks who are going to come up because Libor is not something that is manipulated and decided by one bank. As your viewers will probably know, it's a compendium of about 5 or 6, sometimes 7 or 8 banks, and you divide the averages. The reason that I'm so very disappointed is that I thought we were recovering from what was a very low situation 4 years ago. So to be confronted with a problem of this magnitude is very, very dispiriting. But what I want to know is why it has taken the regulatory authorities 7 years to bring this matter forward. It was first thrown up in 2005. Why couldn't we have dealt with it in 2006? It has exacerbated the problem and made things significantly worse.
Yeah, it's also, no doubt, impacted yet again on the reputation of investment banks, and all banks, in fact. But also, it's the emails, once again, in these scandals that are so incriminating. Emails from one trader to another, and it just shows this sort of in-house greed and everything that there's public view and public scepticism of banks. It just feeds that feeling.
Tiki, I don't want to make light of it. They are, those emails, arrogance personified by a very, very small number of people. But the fact remains, banks remain the vehicle, or if you want, the umbilical cord to recovery. Anybody who doesn't think that is the case completely deludes themselves. We need to get the banking sector back working again. It is absolutely fundamental to recovery. So whereby few people have tried to wreck it, we are just going through some growing pains over 20 years, which are coming out as pretty disgraceful behaviour. Once it's sorted out, you have to believe in tomorrow. Otherwise, without banks, people need to understand we have anarchy.
Yeah, well, you mentioned there may be other banks also having this sort of problem, but there are now news reports of class actions against some of these banks. Now, how on earth are you, in a court, going to be able to unpack the sort of money that a class action will want to claim going back how long, how complicated these transactions are? How on earth could anyone unpack that?
I think it's going to be nigh on impossible. I mean, two things I wanted to point out to you. I mean, first and foremost, the law in the United States is one thing, the law elsewhere is another thing. And how you actually prove the fact that, you know, that it has been illegal to the degree of criminal negligence, I have no idea. I'm not a lawyer. All I can say is that Libor has been, to all intents and purposes, since 2008, completely moribund. Why? You cannot raise money in wholesale money markets for periods longer than about 1 month. Fact. Doesn't matter how big a bank you are, banks don't trust each other.
All right,
therefore, if somebody could please tell me what Libor means, I'd love to understand.
Well, just on that issue of raising money, let's go to the EU summit now. Is it really the 19th attempt for EU leaders to sort all this out? I shouldn't laugh. 19
meetings in the last 2 years. We've had 19 meetings and we're no further down the line. I think what we need now is really a 10-year plan, which is what is rumoured is going to come out of it, where they will be talking about fiscal unity, they'll be talking about bank unity, they will not be talking about Eurobonds if Chancellor Merkel's got anything to do about it. And I think they won't be talking about federalism. But if they can try and come to some heads of agreement, then the market looks like it's placated. Markets or stock markets globally are fine at the moment because people have got this inbuilt feeling that the central banks will save them. And I think what we need now is some meat on the bones. When you think, though, going back, Jacques Delors took 12 years to put this financial package together for Europe. So maybe I'm being unrealistic and thinking something should have happened in 2 years.
Well,
what I'd like to say is life's moved on.
But we've got the situation, though, where Angela Merkel is hardening her stance yet again. We've got Italy and Spain pleading, but Angela Merkel being tougher. We've got the Finnish Prime Minister coming out today and backing Germany in rejecting Eurobonds. You still think we're going to have some sort of positive outcome?
I don't say positive outcome. I think they'll kick the can further downtown. What I'm saying is, even if they were coming to say that they're going to come up with a 10-year plan based on bank unity, based on fiscal unity, I think it would be a very modest achievement. But I don't think, Tiki, you're going to get anything else apart from potential heads of agreement.
And finally, Spain, obviously looking at their €100 billion bailout, I see Ireland is now saying, jumping up and down, saying, well, we want the same concessions as Spain.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, of course they do. And that's why it's utterly ridiculous that, you know, these things should be done in isolation. So until you actually have a game plan over a period of time where the same rules apply for everybody, then you are going to obviously have people coming back to the drawing board. And,
Indeed.
you know, we're going to have Greece coming back again saying, we can't pay you.
Yes.
Please give us another 5 years.
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. We needed a game plan for 10 years.
David Buik, always great to get your views. Thank you very much for joining us.
God bless you so much.